Welcome to this video. In here we're going to do a note cards review of Chapter 6, Calculus BC. Let's jump right in. First, growth and decay. This is probably the most fundamental concept in this whole chapter, so let's pay close attention to it. Rate of change of y with respect to t is directly proportional to y, and directly is a key term. So to represent it using formulas, dy dt is equal to k times y. K is a constant, and we can reshape it into y equal to this big constant c times e to the k times t. And to represent it using a graph, this is a graph of k is greater than 0, which is growing graph. And this is a graph which k is less than 0, which means the graph is decaying. And therefore, we can talk about logistics. Logistics is rate of change is jointly proportional to its size. So notice jointly is different from the last one. Dy dt is equal to k sub 1 times y times 1 minus y over L. And we can also reshape it into this form, which is y equal to L over 1 plus c times e to the negative kt. And notice that k, like the k that I'm shadowed in yellow is the same, and the L that I'm highlighted in yellow is also the same. The logistics curve. This is a graphic overview, which you can see from here is the graph is having a L, which is the upper limit carrying capacity. This is also acting as a horizontal asymptote, and in the middle, where the concavity changes, is L over 2. This is inflection point which is at L over 2. So whatever the question asking you about where is the number will growing the fastest, you will say L over 2, whatever that L is. And as t goes to infinity, y goes to L. And at L over 2, population is growing the fastest, which is the maximum rate, just as I said before. Some example of solving a differential equation with separation of variables. This is also pretty important. Let's take a look in an example. Dy dt is equal to y over 4 times 1 minus t over 9. So to move y with dy on one side and keep t and dt in one side, you will get the form that in the second step. Therefore, we can take the derivative on both sides. After taking the derivative on the left side, we get natural log of absolute value of y is equal to t over 4 minus t squared over 72 plus c. Remember plus c right here, because it's pretty important for us to solve because most of the times the question will give you an initial condition, and you will need that initial condition to find what c is. And plug that back in, you will get the ultimate form. But we are not on that step yet. In here, we're gonna raise both sides to the base e, and then we get y of t is equal to e to the t over 4 times e to the negative t squared over 72 times e to the c. And notice where that big C comes from, or in this case it's a k, because e to the c is a constant, and e is also a number. So this whole thing just becomes a constant, which in this case just becomes k. And you can see that the side note I wrote here is let e to the c be k. Therefore, we get k. And sometimes you will write it in the big C. There's no difference between these two. And yeah, that's all for this video. A quick note cards review for Chapter 6. I hope you learned something from it, or it helps you a little bit to review the test. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.